Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
And I'm Maureen Akers. Welcome, Gary.
Good to be here.
Yes,
Thank you.
glad to have you. Okay, today's question, Gary, is what is the process for pursuing a personal injury claim?
All right. Well, so this is in our series of questions,
Right.
Okay? So people go, what do I do?
What do I do? What's the first step,
What's
right?
the process? So the process is, I hope you don't have one.
Yeah.
If you do, I guess there's some things you ought to do. And so the answer I found on what is the process, I think this is pretty standard. If you need medical attention, get it.
Oh, yeah.
And don't cheat yourself there. If you have property damage, document it. If you're at the scene and you can take photographs, take photographs. If you can record a witness who helps you, get a recording on your phone. We all have this technology in our pocket now. Yeah. It's insane. Years ago, I used to give people disposable cameras and say, go take pictures of your car so we can document what the damage is. Now people are bringing me videos practically of the wreck, and with dash cams, you would be stunned by what happens inside a vehicle. So all of that physical evidence that we now have access to really close in time is helpful, and then it needs to be documented. And then the medical part is critically important. I mean, there really isn't a case on the personal injury side unless you have injuries. And if you don't have injuries, don't have injuries. It's fine, but if you do, you need to get medical care for it. So that's kind of the process to start. The third thing, and that is the third thing, be set up, give notice to everyone who needs to know. So that would include your own insurance company. They need to know early and in writing. I'm going to say it now, in writing, because they will deny they heard about it later. The other insurance company needs to know so they can take care of it, and maybe you don't have a deductible to pay on the property damage. You need to let your medical care know. You're here for a reason. It's because of this incident that happened. Don't just assume that they're going to know.
Yeah.
And if there's changes in your medical condition from before, they need to know about that so they can document all that. So that all becomes critical later. Witness information, all of that. Anyway, that's critical to get to a lawyer.
So when should you hire a lawyer?
Well, early on is what I suggest because, make sure you have all these things. Make sure the notice is done correctly. Make sure you've gathered the evidence. Make sure you've investigated. And like we said in the earlier show a couple weeks ago, so they take you seriously, because the next step, if it doesn't get resolved, is trial or lawsuit anyway, where discovery takes place, and then trial where you really do need a lawyer.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. We'll see you in the next legal break.